And we welcome you to WWE LFG Episode 2 review. Andy, did you realize that Episode 1 actually did really well?
Did it?
It did. I
Yeah.
think you got some 246 views, which is quite good for this channel.
Oh, nice one.
But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting show and stuff like that. I mean, but like I said, mate, we're going to go through Episode 2 and stuff like that. We ready to do this?
Yep, let's go. Let's do it.
Let's roll the intro first. And Haney, of course, I think you watched it. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, I watched it all yesterday. Really good.
It is. It's an interesting show and stuff like that. And like I said, mate, do you know what I mean? Obviously, I wanted to do a bit more review stuff. And yeah. So we're covering Episode 2, mate. Do you know what I mean? I've not really got anything planned and stuff like that. So the show starts, obviously, with Shiloh Hill, Danny Selelski, Anthony Luke, and Taya Maria Steele. Ended up having a little match on NXT. What do you think?
Yeah, they did. It was a nice little match, in front of a crowd, That was it, get them out there, get them experiencing in front of the crowd. It was really good.
Yeah, really, really good and stuff like that. I mean, it was interesting to see the crowd reaction because I feel like some of them were like, what's going on here?
Yep. I don't think we knew it that it was announced at that stage. Obviously, this was filmed a little while back now, so what was it? We were obviously waiting to find out what was going on, So I'm sure that was explained to the audience, but it was really really good to sort of see. There's probably lots of that. We probably don't see a lot. There's probably lots of matches in that sort of environment. I think the Evolve episodes are probably been filmed in that environment as well. So so it was interesting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing you said to me when obviously you watched it and stuff like that is, if this is the standard of people obviously competing and stuff like that, other promotions are going to have to watch their back.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, I mean, for the longest time, everybody says, well, if it wasn't for the Indies, the WWE wouldn't have survived. It was. I think the days are long gone. What was it called? Because it's looking a hell of a likely that they're going to have some amazing talent there. I mean, what was it? It's just phenomenal to see the sheer amount of talent that they've got coming through there. So you're going to need to have that really high standard. So eventually, as they're all sort of progressing and making their way into the main rosters and NXT and development, then things are going to sort of pick up a little bit in terms of the standard that's out there.
100% of stuff like that. I mean, the good thing is like we spoke about it. There is there's different ranges of years experience, but when you see them in the ring, you don't see that. Do you know what I mean?
No, you certainly don't. You certainly don't see that. What was it? It's dare I say, you almost see the finished article. You don't see the sort of nitty gritty of getting them ready and putting on the early matches, which I'm sure we'll discuss a few other parts of that. As we progress into the episode.
Yeah, absolutely, and stuff like that. So then, obviously, after the matches, teams obviously got announced. So I'm just reading it in front of me. So Team Bubba was Xena Sterling, Drake Morex, I said that right, Titania Dumas, and obviously BJ Ray. I mean, let's be honest. I think I saw that coming a mile off with BJ Ray being with Bully.
Yeah, definitely. I think he wants to get him in the ring and beat the shit out of him.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. Not in a sort of disrespectful bad way. I just think he wants to humble him, shall we say.
Yeah, the thing is, with BJ Ray, and what really winds me up is he's got the ego and stuff like that, but sometimes that's not always a good thing.
No, definitely not. Especially when you've just knocked something off my desk there, in case you were wondering what that clutter was. 2 seconds.
I didn't hear it.
No, definitely not. That was it. Especially with Bully, who's notorious for not being disrespected. These guys are old school, you know. So it was these guys trained with like old school wrestlers. So that was it. They've got that sort of same mentality.
No, absolutely, and stuff like that. And I feel like that's one thing missing from the wrestling today.
No, definitely. I was trying to sort of rack my brains. I can't remember the wrestler, but I remember Roddy Piper telling a story about one of the sort of events that he did. That early on, I think there was Larry the Hacks Henning and there was another wrestler. But what was it? Not to be crude, but basically, what was it? Like even till the day that he stopped, so he was affectionately known as Cocksucker by this wrestler, you know, because that was the name that he gave him, you know. So what was it called? You had to sort of do as you're told when you were on the road. But the sounds of it in the good old days, basically a bit like the sort of way they have in Japan, where they have the sort of young lions. Basically, a lot of sort of what was it? A lot of like the veterans took on like some of the newer guys when they started going on the road, not to sort of obviously to try and help them out. They obviously picked the guys that they took a shine to, but to basically sort of make them do all the grunt work, you know, do the driving, you know. That was it. Carry all the bags, you know. So what was it called? That's not there anymore. What was it? In wrestling, so I think it's probably taken for granted, you know. What was it that? What was it? When somebody looks at somebody like Bully Ray and thinks, "Oh, he's just a bully," it's no. It's like it's just the way he came up, you know. It's all he knows. So as they say, you shouldn't disrespect your elders, no matter how
Absolutely not.
disrespectful they are to you.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. So Team Mickey James consists of Chris Island, Troy Yearwood, Danny Sikalski, and Serena Linton. I mean, there's a few there who obviously has caught me eye, but we've not seen much of them.
Yeah, there's not much of Mickey's team. So well, we do get to see a bit of Troy, don't we? What was it? What was it later on? What was it? But we'll sort of get to that, you know. Personally, I think that's the team that's to me that so far hasn't really got the characters, you know.
Yeah.
I think everybody else has sort of got what was it? Everyone else has got a sort of like character. Just to, and I'm sure we'll talk about. I'm sure we'll talk about it. I don't know if I've got the right Troy because there's two Troys in there. There's Troy Yearwood and there's Jasper Troy. Jasper Troy was the one that was in the match, wasn't it?
Yeah, so there's Troy Yearwood
Yeah.
and there's Jasper
Yeah.
Troy's on Team Booker.
Yeah. So I'll let you carry on with the teams, but I just need to make sure that I've not what was it got that sort of like the two mixed up. What was it called? Yeah. So.
Yeah, just to wrap up, obviously the team like Haney's talking about there is it's obviously Team Booker was Anthony Luke. Of course, he picked Booker last week for winning. Penina Tulipa. I do apologize if I'm saying these names wrong, by the way. Jasper Troy, Leah Laurel. That's obviously Team Booker. And to wrap up, Undertaker's team, Tyra Maysteele. Again, she obviously won last week. Shiloh Hill, Bailey, Humphrey, and I think there's another one somewhere. It's not actually telling me here, but
Is it not Elijah Holyfield?
It is, but it's not obviously saying it. But yeah, it is Elijah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the thing is, I mean, there's some great obviously teams and stuff like that. But like you said there, the thing is with Mickey James, you're not seeing much about. I mean, obviously we're only 2 episodes in and stuff.
Yeah. No, definitely. I'm sure as the episodes progress, you'll have episodes where it was more feature centric. I think this one was more Booker T centric. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure you get an episode where it's like Mickey James centric. You know, what was it? So I'll be interested to sort of see where that sort of goes.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously the thing is now to see him obviously training and stuff, next off passing obviously knowledge and stuff, which meant that it was, correct me if I'm wrong, it was 4 matches they obviously got announced.
Yep.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure I obviously get the information correct. So we'll talk on each match individually. So the first match, which was announced, was Penina to Alipa, which is obviously Team Booker, versus Xena Sterling for Team Bubba. The thing is, with obviously the Xena Sterling stuff like that, I get the character and stuff like that, but does it resonate with me? Not for me personally. I don't know what you think.
No, and it was I'll be honest, I sort of, what was it? You sort of see these characters, but obviously it's early on. What was it? But was it, I'm not seeing it yet in terms of the character.
Yeah. Do you get the idea what Bully's trying to achieve? Like bubbly, type of person and stuff?
No, definitely, and what was it? It was a sort of real insight with some of the sort of the dialogue and stuff that he was pointing out to people as well. Things that we don't even realise. That he was picking up on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
and the
think
thing is, the thing is, obviously, with these wrestlers, even when they're watching like a matches, they've been around the business for so long, they can pick up things that we don't see.
Yeah, I think Jim Cornette says that when he's sort of reviewing, like he said that a few times when he's sort of reviewing matches on his channel or his podcast. He can pretty much he can call what was it what was it he can call what was it a lot of the matches and see where the matches are going, without actually hearing what the wrestlers are saying. And it's not a sort of like what was it better than anybody sort of thing. It's just the fact that he says he's just been around the business that long. He can read a match, so he's looking for things that when you've got that sort of level of sort of what was it detail, but you're not looking for the normal things that we're seeing on the television. You're looking for a lot of things. Like there was a few things like Bubba Ray shouting out like "Watch your feet," and things like that, and what was it talking about positioning and making sure that what was it your eyes are always visible, what was it because that's your money maker sort of thing. Make sure just little hints and tips.
And the thing is, these little tips add up and like get fans more invested. Do you know what I mean?
No, definitely. It sort of it tears down the curtain a wee bit more, and I think what was it? I think as these things are progressing, I think we're going to see some really awesome talent coming out of this group of what was it sort of what was it wrestlers because of that. Because you're seeing stuff that we don't normally see.
Absolutely not. And so obviously Xena Sterling got the pin for that and stuff like that. Obviously they gave the feedback and stuff, and I think just make sure I get this. Yeah, the legends offer a feedback to both women. Penina notes Strem scares her as she notes she can hurt these girls. Boba gives her a fist bump to tell her a good job. So that's the thing. Do you know what I mean? It's one thing being in the ring, you're learning stuff like that, but it's also the fact that you've got to not overdo it. If you know what I mean.
No, you've got to. You can't be too arrogant, and you've got to make sure that you're a team in there when you're telling a story and you're wrestling. And they talked a lot about that as well around the whole, what was it, leading the match thing. I think was it I've got these mixed up. I think it was the Troy's the one where what was it called? I can't remember. I can't remember which one it was. Maybe it was. I've got myself mixed
I
up with
think you're on about the last match. Was it a first match?
No, no, no. I think it was the one where he basically said he talked about the sort of like what was it? Yeah, what was it? And leading the match, and I think the Troy guy wasn't too happy about being told that what was it? He wasn't the man leading it, so it was the other guy.
Chris Island. So yeah, the next match obviously you're referring to is Jasper Troy, which is obviously Team Booker versus Chris Island, which is Team Mickey and stuff like that. And I've got to be honest, Jasper Troy really did impress me. This is one of those because I'm a big fan of obviously the powerhouse and stuff like that. But the comment you obviously made was it felt like Chris Island was obviously being led by Jasper. It was more of I think that hit home a little bit.
Yeah, it did. And I guess I guess, but was it? That's something in wrestling we don't think about is when you have these matches, you've got to have somebody able to lead the match and tell the story. And it probably falls more on the veteran to sort of do that and lead things down that right path. And you don't want to seem
absolutely.
like
And one thing
sorry, I was going to say, you don't want to seem like the spare wheel in the scenario where you're the one that's been carried. You know, that was I can see why that's seen as a bit of, some people might take that as being disrespected, that you're being led. But sometimes you've just got to put your ego in check and realise that the other guys probably could be better than you at doing it. You know, so it was at the end of the day, it's about the fans. It's not about you in the ring.
No, absolutely. The thing is, I mean, we said that we feel like Jasper should have won this.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely should have. I didn't. What was it? What was it? It was a crossbody you finished it with, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. What was it? Yeah.
Really interesting stuff like that. So that's obviously Chris Ireland got obviously the match 310, which is obviously shown. The next match obviously was Shiloh Hill for Team Taker versus Troy Yearwood versus Team Mickey and stuff like that. The thing is with the Shiloh Hill, I just like the actual intensity. Now, if I remember rightly, these two had a little shove when the match was announced.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a wee bit of, you don't know if there's a wee bit of pantomime going on or if there is a bit of animosity. We'll need to wait and see as it goes on, you know. But I think these are probably the two of the better what was it wrestlers in there, you know, along with sort of Jasper Troy as well. What was it? I'll need to go back and look at their faces because I've got the Troys mixed up. So
yeah, you'll have to do that for next week, yeah.
I will do, definitely. I do apologise, guys.
It's fine. But yeah, the thing is with that Shiloh Hill, I like the character, I like what he's trying to do. The one thing that Bully picked up and stuff like that was, and I completely forgot about this, was when he's obviously doing submission, hair in your face and stuff, and I'm like, well, you're kind of right in a point because obviously the facial expressions are key.
Yeah, you're selling it to the crowd, you know, and if you can't see that, it's just somebody in a headlock. You know?
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Yeah, so what was it called? You've got to tell the story to the fans. What was it? It was a pretty wicked clothesline in that match as well. What was it called? Yeah, definitely.
100%. The final match was Titania Dumas for Team Bubba versus Leah Laurel for Team Bucket. Now, it's one thing to remember here, by the way, that obviously for Team Bubba, Titania. If I say these names wrong, I'm sorry. I'm just obviously reading them and stuff like that. This was her first match, but do you know to watch this match? You wouldn't have thought that.
No, you would not. This was awesome. This match. This really. What was it? I think. But was after I watched this match, I sort of messaged you and said, "Wow, you know, but was it if this is the level that's coming through the women's division, then, you know, what was it? People need to watch out if that's somebody having their first match." You know,
yeah, and the thing is, obviously, with Dumas and stuff like that, is she got so much into her own head and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And I understand, obviously, it's high stress and stuff like that, but like you said, to have your first match like that in front of probably one of the 4 best legends in the wrestling scene, and to put on that, imagine what she's going to do and down the line.
Oh no, you know, but was it? You can tell. What was it? All the other sort of legends are like, yeah, I wish I got that one. You know, Taker was really impressed, but which is high, like high sort of regards. You know, it was interesting. What was it? Going back, well, but like before the matches as well, and seeing them working in the rings and Taker working with the women and laying into the women. You know, I don't know if you caught that. You know, just
Yeah.
what was it called? Just interesting to sort of see that and what was it? Seeing that side of things, you know, and making sure that they're learning properly. You couldn't have a better teacher, I don't think, with some of these guys.
No, exactly. And I think the thing is, there wasn't really much critique on that match either.
No, there wasn't. What was it? They were pretty happy with it, weren't they? They were pretty. I think Happy's thing. They were buzzing after that match. They really were. I felt they were really excited about what was going to come. You know, they actually sort of grounded them and says that was awesome, sort of thing. But just remember, you know, got to keep that level up and got to keep doing that. You know, what was it? I suppose you've got to push out that praise when it's deserved. You know,
100% and stuff like that. So obviously all matches concluded and stuff like that. We went to the scoreboard. Before I obviously give what obviously the judges gave, who was the standout male for you and who was the standout female? Male and female.
I think for me, what was it? Jala Hal is a standout male in the group.
Mm-hmm.
What was it called? He just looks like that stereotypical sort of big WWE wrestler. I know there's a few there. Chris Island looks like he's like what was it as well, you know, and probably what was it Titania as well. I
Mm-hmm.
really think she's going to go far, you know, and I think Bubba's got the better pick of the wrestlers actually. What was it
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like talent there? What was it? What was it? I think male wise, it's probably Shiloh Hill and but was it Bubba? It's probably Damas at the moment. I think they look
Yeah.
fantastic. But was it Leah as well? It's just you know looks amazing in the ring as well.
Yeah, 100%. Now, I obviously went with Jasper Troy. I felt like he would obviously would stand out, stuff like that. Now, I'll
Yeah.
read obviously the scorecard and stuff like that. So it says the following. We start with the men. Booker gives it to Jasper Troy. Mickey gives it to
Yep.
Troy Yearwood. Taker picks Troy Yearwood. Bubba obviously gives it to Jasper, which meant it goes to a tiebreaker,
Yep.
which obviously Sean picked Troy. But with the way I see it, either one of those could have won that.
No, definitely. I think I think in terms of the show and going by what the what was it going by what the legends did, and it was quite funny because but was it Bubba says but was it but was I could be thinking and leave it down to to HBK,
Mm-hmm.
and then he says yeah I'm going to do that, you know, what was it but I think that was the right pick. What was it in terms of what was it of what we've seen, you know, definitely.
100%. And of course, the women, Bubba says it's much harder picking the winner over the women. He gives the nod to Leah. Mickey gives it to Leah for leading Titania through her first match. Taker pulls Leah. So essentially, Leah won as well. But again,
Yeah.
when she's also guided somebody who's, you know what I mean, first match and stuff like that, props, let's be honest.
No, definitely. What was it leading that match, you know. I'm sure it's something a lot of wrestlers can't do either. You know, lead a match, call a match in the sort of ring. But was it particularly like a lot of indie wrestlers for me? What was it? There's no even a sort of like I hate using the word scripting in the match. It's basically what was it? Got to get this, and this within 2 minutes. Got to go do this within 4 minutes, and it's all about their moves rather
Mm-hmm.
than the match itself, which I think is lacking in wrestling. You know, I mean, one thing I noted in this is a typical, stereotypical sort of WWE match. I don't think there was any match more than 4 minutes. You know, that was
Mm-hmm.
don't know how much of that is editing, but what was it? Well, I've talked about that before. I mean, I like the long sort of like drawn out sort of storytelling match, but
Mm-hmm.
you can see the sort of impact of these sort of matches in the audience, and I think what was it? WWE is going to do that more. What was
100%.
it? You know, lay in what you need to get in rather than like because fights don't last. Like, let's be honest, fights don't last. A real fight doesn't last long.
No, no,
you
they
know,
don't.
so it's all about the storytelling and the character, and I think a lot of these guys have got character.
Yeah, 100%. So the scoreboard obviously is followed. Mickey James and Booker T each get a point for obviously the respected talent and stuff like that. Taker and Bubba are both sit on 0, but obviously it's only week 2 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the one person we've not talked about is obviously BJ Ray and stuff like that. What does Bully need to bring out of him? Is it the ego? Is it obviously the fight?
You know, it's interesting the fight. I think, what was it? It reminds me about the arrogance of that Daniel Pruda guy a few years ago. I don't know if you
Feud.
remember that. Yeah, and basically you had the
Yep.
Royal Rumble. You had the Royal Rumble match where you had Eddie. What was it? Who else was in the ring? There was Eddie. There was Benoit and Bob Holly.
Hardcore Holly.
Yeah, came out and the bitches just beat the absolute shit out of him. You know, for the disrespect that he showed Kurt Angle. What was it? You know, so what was it? You've just got to be careful. What was it? But I think Bubba loves him in terms of what was it? Like a character. What was it? And being able to be something, it's just whether you sort of rein that in, you know. But sometimes you need the sort of, what was it, guys that like are controversial, like your Shawn Michaels or your CM Punks, you know. That
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you need that in the locker room to create that dynamic and to create that storytelling, you know. So he's definitely not lacking confidence, and I think that's what Bubba will probably want to do. We probably want to knock that down a little bit, you know, because he probably
Yeah.
knows he's good.
Yeah, exactly. He's just obviously bringing him down with the ego and stuff like that. So it
Yeah,
obviously ends what we can expect obviously next week, and the big talking point is someone gets hurt.
yeah. That was it, definitely. So that I'm guessing that's what's going to lead to sort of because we know what was it, Elijah Holyfield's in there. So what was it? So I'm guessing that's what that where that's going. I think it's I'm not too sure who goes out, but I'm sure we'll find out.
Exactly. Remains to be seen and stuff like that. So yeah, stay tuned obviously for next week where we cover episode 3. I'm actually enjoying these in it. Hope you're having a blast as well.
No, definitely. I was. It's good, easy watching. You know, but was
Mm-hmm.
but was it something to sit down and just. But was it not too over? Sometimes you just want something not to like overthink. You know, I know we're watching it and reviewing it and taking notes, but it's good to sit down and watch these things and just not have to overthink it. But was it you know?
Exactly. So yeah, stay tuned, guys, obviously for episode 3 and stuff like that. So yeah, cheers for watching. Here we go.
Alrighty then.
I've clicked end and it's still not flipping ending. All right, I'll cut that out. No man.